to all the Pac-12 reforms that were passed on Monday?
Well, it's not surprising. They've been in the works. So, it's there's been some real good examination of issues that are basically have to do with student athlete welfare, and it's all good stuff. So, I think that they're kind of forward thinking.
The one that popped out to me, at least initially, was the 4-year scholarships, which I know some of the private schools have been able to do that already. But just how does that impact, if at all, like just how you guys recruit and moving forward? Does that change anything, or do you anticipate that changing anything?
No. The only for us, the only people that really have ever lost their scholarships have to do with behavior or grades, and that won't change.
Right.
One of the most glaring statistics from the Stanford game was the 12 net rushing yards. What changes were made to help block more, I guess, for the run game this year?
Well,
this week,
it was just hopefully we'll be able to win more one-on-one battles. And that we gotta as what happens in games like that is you've got to help get the players' confidence back through a plan that gives them a chance to make the block and get the best runs against their defense, and then execute it correctly. So you go kind of back to the drawing board a little bit, and our job is just to help technically and strategically what we do.
To kind of piggyback off that, you said Sunday that you guys as coaches kind of maybe needed to look at all your personnel groups and zero in on what you can do with these guys. How's that process been going? And kind of figured some of that out. I think.
Yeah, I think that you got to look at your people, look at what they do, and the best way to exploit their strengths. And we can do that through personnel groups. We can do that within the structure of the plays that we run. And I think you just do that with every person that's playing in the game that can handle the ball, whether you're throwing it to them or handing it to them. So, we try to do a good job with that every week. Obviously, the whole thing failed a week ago, so we want to be better than that.
Yeah, I know that is a weekly thing that you're always going to look at it, but was it more so this week? Is it kind of more stepping back, or was it just kind of standard to what's done?
Well, I'd hate to compare our effort into each week.
Sure.
That's I would hate to think. That's why. I teach our coaches and our team that you prepare the same all the time. I mean, because if all of a sudden you say, okay, this is a big game, I'm going to work harder, then what exactly have you been doing before?
Sure.
I don't like that attitude. So it's kind of like I've said to you guys before, we prepare for each game like it's a Super Bowl. We try to leave no stone unturned, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but we certainly don't. I don't ever want to get to the Oregon game and say, okay, now we're going to start working. That doesn't work like that.
The offensive line, another change up on who's starting this week, which definitely shows the versatility of the offensive line unit. But how confident are you in their ability to go up such a strong passing game?
Well, I think that our offensive line is obviously has been in transition from the very beginning of camp. And we've had some guys step in. I'm really proud of Roman Sapolo. I mean, he has really done a nice job and been very good through the years stepping in for this team. So, and Fred Liuna is a guy that we've been really impressed with physically. And it's just a matter of readiness to get into a game. So we think that this might be a good time for him to do that. So, it's you can never stop the opportunity for kids, even if it's during the year. Now it's harder once you get going and you're game planning, but you can never stop the idea of, hey, this guy deserves to play, and we got to get him into the games. So, it's just like with Hunter Jarman. He's been playing in one personnel group, but with the number of plays that he's made, we all have to look at it and say, hey, we got to get this guy some more involved. He's making plays.
Statistically speaking, Cal is ranked last in the Pac-12 in passing defense and total defense. After coming off a loss to Stanford, is that encouraging to you guys at all, knowing you're going up against a different?
I don't look at those stats too much. I think that you can get in a trap, and you can't assume too much. So, we obviously have a big jump to make. We've had some good running games and we've had some decent passing games. We're not overall dynamic offensively. We certainly have to. We failed miserably a week ago, so we've got our own issues to deal with.
You just touched on Jarman and kind of maybe what's the next step for these receivers as far as where you want to see them continue to grow each week, and how are they doing in that regard?
I think it's really exciting, actually. I think daily, with the two freshmen, Villeman and Hunter, and then the two sophomores, and Dockery and Victor. I think that's a pretty good nucleus right there to start with, and then there's some capable people with them. I think that Kendall Hill will one day be a player, and Malik Gilmore gives us another solid player. So it's a pretty good group. Just not that much experience in making plays in the games, but getting better at it.
Is it separating from the defensive backs? Is it just consistently catching the ball, running the right routes? What is it that's maybe?
Well, some of it is even out of their control, right? The protection that's occurring, and
it's all connected.
Yeah. So that's where it gets a little bit jaded there. I think that we've got to. The more dynamic and consistent you are offensively, things grow on themselves. The more plays you run, the more first downs you get, then there's more opportunities. And so we haven't had that much this year. So that's where we have to go.